Get back, we touch those soft days. Well, just past they disappear. Oh, stop. In your heart and soul, don't you hesitate, 'cause the worst thing's gone. Stay on that heart, 'cause you're not far. That's the way of the world. Let your power and your power child with a heart of the
New moon in Aquarius last night. New moon in Aquarius last night. Billy Weeks. Hey, Billy Weeks. So this might be a shorter reading because I've been traveling all day. All right. I decided to keep our goddess card, Hathor, from the Aquarius reading a couple of weeks ago. I decided to keep that. And now, very powerful full moon energy. First card. Hey, Lorianne. First card out the deck. Three of Cups. Celebration. Time with friends, family. Honoring the sacred feminine. Stepping into your true self. Next card out of the deck. Knight of Swords. And so even the way that these cards are falling, we have this Knight of Swords rushing to the Queen of Cups. So isn't that interesting? So a very fast moving energy. So just as with the last reading, we are still, the energy is still that of watching our tongue, because the energy is still very cutting right now. And so we still want to be very gentle with our words. We want to be very thoughtful with our words, to the words that we say to ourselves and words that we say to others as we are in expansive Aquarius, because one of the things we know is that what we focus on expands. So we want to decrease those things that cause us stress and strain, and we want to increase those things that lift us up. Okay? And I apologize if I look super sleepy. I am super sleepy. Like, I just got to Connecticut like an hour ago. So I have literally been up all day and traveling from New York. But then I realized I should have done the new moon reading last night, but I was resting. So I figured let me hop on and do it for tonight. Yeah. Next card out of the deck, the Empress. Why is my mother calling me from upstairs? Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Why are you calling? Why are you?
I talked to you this hour already?
No, some of it.
Oh, I
Some of it.
I was just informing you, there's a bag of that popcorn that's like in the chest. I don't know if you saw it.
Oh, okay. That's exciting.
Well, I just found this. I thought you had aliens or something you while you was watching TV with black on.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right.
That's fine.
Good night.
That's what I'm talking about now.
All right.
Okay.
All right. My eyes can barely stay open. Hey, Felicia Faye. I think we're going to just have one more card come out of the deck, but also just knowing that this is actually a good full moon. Also, we're in the energy of the lunar new year, Hangman. Okay, so I feel like we're going to have to pull one more card. Okay. Get it together. And then look at my counterpart over here. You watching mommy do her reading, huh? Okay, let's get it together. So for those of you that just joined, I am leaving Hathor here because she really is the theme of the whole month, right? So pleasure. Pleasure is, it should have been, the theme song should have been Pleasure Principle instead of the Way of the World, but anyway, so this should be our focus, right, of this month is pleasure. As we said in the last reading, no matter what is coming up for us, sort of personally and even nationally, we want to keep the focus on the pleasure. What is bringing us joy? What is helping us to expand in this energy of Aquarius, this wonderful energy that we're in? First card out of the deck, again, on this celebration, this Three of Cups. And so, folks may be thinking, how can you know what? Behave. Okay. How can I be joyful? How can I have pleasure when so much is happening in the world? Right? I mean, the message seems to be such a contradictory message, right? Knight of Swords energy fast, moving energy fast, new messages coming in between now. Remember, this will be the energy from this new moon to the full moon, right? Next month. So fast moving energy, new ideas may be coming through, new excitement may be coming through. And then the Empress, a very nurturing, a very centered, feminine energy with the Empress, different from the High Priestess, in that the High Priestess is, which I think we had the High Priestess last month, I can't remember now, but the High Priestess is more about using your intuition. The High Priestess, of course, lives between worlds, right? She's the subconscious, the conscious. So, but the Empress is the sort of wife to the Emperor, but again, she is more nurturing, right? Where the Emperor is more like older man, more stringent, more rule-oriented. The Empress is more nurturing, in tune with nature, right? So we start off this reading with this Three of Cups and then Knight of Swords, the Empress, and then the Hangman. So folks may be feeling a little bit like, which way do I go? Which way do I turn, right? So how do we find that joy? How do we find that joy with everything that's going on in the world, right? For those of us that are metaphysicians and that are in this thing and in this thing deep, obviously one of the things I would say is reduce the news, reduce time on social media, reduce time with conversations and with people that bring you down, that drain your energy, and move really more towards this energy, right? So separating yourself from things that cause you stress, because this is on the horizon. The new moon has the power to bring this new energy to you, but we still have to, hey Corey, we still have to be in the space of allowing ourselves to relax and let go. Taking our hands off the wheel. Now, one of the things we know is that fear is a major issue, right? And when we're feeling fearful, and there's so many things in this world to be fearful about right now, I recognize that. However, we cannot answer fear with fear. We have to look for this. We have to look for the pleasure where we can find it. Okay? Because again, what you resist persists. What you focus on expands. So if we're focusing on all the things that make us afraid, all the things that make us angry, then we will see more of that. And it is such a hard concept for some people to grasp because this feels very naive. You know, some people think that this kind of thinking is very naive. You know, oh, Zoe, I'm a realist. I'm just a realist. You know, I watch the news because I need to know what's going on. I don't get my hopes up because, you know, I don't want to really, what it is really is people are afraid to be let down. And so fear is the go-to. For so many of us, fear and negativity is the go-to. It is the default because we have been hurt, because we have been betrayed, because we have been lied to, right? And so we feel like we want to get ahead of that. We want to, you know, we want to cushion that fall. And so we don't allow ourselves to be joyful. Even when the joy is here, and I talked about this before, sometimes you can't even see it because of the haze of protection. This new moon in Aquarius has the energy is available for you to take baby steps towards letting go. Because I realize it's not easy to just throw everything off and trust, especially for those of us who've been on the planet for a while, right? But this new moon definitely is a power-packed new moon. We have another super moon coming up in a couple of weeks, a super full moon. So that'll give us even more energy. So we're in, and then of course we have the energy of the Lunar New Year, the Chinese New Year, also the year of the pig, okay? What I would suggest, one of the things I did yesterday for the new moon, yesterday? No, 3 days ago, I reprinted my full astrology chart. And so for those of you that are into astrology, and even for those of you that aren't into astrology, I recommend printing out your full chart. Or a friend of mine, a colleague, Sam Reynolds, I look him up. He's a phenomenal astrologer because you want to find out where your challenges are in your chart. Okay, you want to find out where your challenges are so you can work with those. You want to find out where your strengths are so you can build those up. So that would be an amazing way to utilize this new moon energy, is to download your astrology chart. Of course, you will need to know the city you were born in, the state you were born in, the time, to have a full, complete chart. How long are we in the new moon? The new moon technically was last night, but the energy obviously is still in the air, okay? And so again, this reading is from this new moon to the full moon. So this read will be for the next several weeks, okay? So, you know, again, new moons usher, and thank you, Corey, that's a great question. New moons usher in change. This is a time for change. Okay, so that's why something really amazing that you can do is to print out your astrology chart so you can see where those areas are and then use that Aquarius energy to build on so that you can make the changes, so that you can also attract this type of energy. This was the first card out of the deck, the first card that fell out of the deck. Like Stevie Wonder says, love could use a little love today. Right? We need this now. We need this now more than ever, but it is work. Good news. Next card out of the deck. Again, the energy is coming in to help us. The energy is coming in. Knight of Swords, end of a long-term situation. Right? What are you doing? Get down. end of a long-term situation. Knight of Swords. Okay, so again, we know swords is air, new ideas, new thoughts, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so the potential is here, the people are here, the opportunities are here, the celebration is here. You just need to key into it because it's on its way. It's on its way. Now, for those of you that are waiting, for that phone call, that text, that job announcement, etc., those things are coming. We just have to be patient a little bit longer. Okay? But again, the more joyful you are, the more stress-free you are, the quicker those manifestations will happen. All right? What to do when that change comes, right? Because we know also sometimes when the changes come, we want the change, we want the joy, we want the marriages, we want the friendship, we want the commitment, we want all those things, right? And then they come quick, quick, quick. Everything we ask for shows up. Whoa, how is that possible? What do? We need to pull on that Empress energy. We need to stay grounded. Hey Dom, so we need to stay grounded. So between this new moon and this full moon, we need to be doing our grounding exercises. We need to get our lavender. We need to be putting our lavender on the bottom of our feet before we leave the house, right? For those of you that, put it on your pillows for better sleeping. Hey, Livsy. All right, we want to get grounded. We want to get grounded because we want to be ready for this new energy that's coming. Okay, I want to be ready. Oh, that's the song that I heard it in Ebony's show. That's right. Ready. That's right. Okay, so we want to be ready. Like young people say, stay ready, then you don't have to get ready. That's what Ebony said to me this morning, and she is right? We want to be ready. We want to be in this Empress energy. We want to be in this Empress energy, right? We want to be also, how can we get into this Empress energy? Get out in nature. Get out in nature, right? Connect to the natural environment. Connect to your natural self. For some of you, this may mean also, which is interesting because this isn't really what this card is about, but some of you all may need to, during this time, reach out to certain family members and start digging into family history. Isn't that interesting? Because you may find some healing in the traumas of your family history. Okay? So you may have to reach out to some folks. You may have to be the Empress. You may have to rise higher, right? So that your vibration is high. One of the other things I started doing these past couple of days is I started working with the Shri Yantra. I started meditating with the Shri. I can't talk. This is how tired I am. The Shri Yantra. So this is the Shri Yantra, right? So it is a great tool for abundance. It is a 2-dimensional symbol that brings about 3-dimensional results, right? So I've been meditating on this. I put this on my phone on Sunday. Again, not even really consciously getting ready for the new moon, but just flowing with the energy. You get to a certain place where you just start doing stuff and you don't even know why you're doing it, right? But all of a sudden I just got that urge, like, okay, right? Shri Yantra. I put one on my mirror. I put one on my phone. There's actually one right here on my computer. Put these cards down here. Yeah, one on my computer and one on my mirror in my house and one on my vision board, right? Because again, I want to be ready. I want to be ready for this. I want to usher in this. I am actively working to bring in that abundance, right? I am a manifesting machine. Okay? Next card out of the deck, the Hangman. So I would say in about a week or so, things might slow down a bit. These next couple of weeks, again, things are going to be moving fast for some of you all. The information that you want is going to start to come through, and then it's going to sort of slow down. So you might have to take a step back. Okay. So you might have to take a step back and actually get clear on what you want. Because again, some of you have not figured out how to be abundant. There are still issues with abundance. Do I deserve it? Am I ready for it? So when the abundance comes, you do not recognize it because you have not prepared for it. And so that results in a lot of overspending. That results in a lot of squandering of energy, of squandering ideas, too much talking, spreading yourself too thin, talking to the wrong people about your ideas. If you have financial ideas and things like that during this time period, don't go running to Susie and Sally and Harry and Larry. Talk to a financial advisor. This is a time to talk to the experts. Okay? This is a time to get advice from the experts. The new moon is a fabulous time to act on new ideas, to make changes. I also joined the gym last week. Again, sort of low-key preparing. I wasn't even thinking about the full moon. It just kind of was like, oh, okay, just following the energy. The more you're in nature, the more you're in tune with the sacred feminine, the more you're in tune with yourself, the more you're in sort of grace. This is a very graceful woman. If you look at the top, she has the stars at the top, again, focusing in on the moon, focusing in on the sacred feminine down here, focusing on the truth of the heart, really taking this time to figure out what the fuck you want from life. You can't just keep going from pillar to post, from pillar to post. Take a step back, get quiet, and really figure out, what the hell do I even want? Why do I want this money? Why do I want this job? Why do I want this person? What do I think this person is going to do for me that I'm not already doing for myself? What do I think this job is going to do for me that I'm not even doing for myself? All right? It's time to get clear because the energy is like, okay? Next card out of the deck, Queen of Swords reversed. So we talked about, again, another sword, another sort of idea, right? So Queen of Swords reversed. Again, what did I just say? Why do I want this abundance? Squandering opportunity, right? There is a block in this area. There is a block. And then we have 8 of Wands. Again, fast-moving ideas, fast-moving connections, things going your way, right? But you ain't ready. You ain't ready. Okay? Or you're ready, but you don't think you're ready. Or you haven't laid down the foundation. So again, this is the time for foundation. Now, the thing about Aquarius season is we know, again, Aquarius season. Aquarius is air sign, like myself, Libra, air sign. So we can be very, right? Oh, shiny thing. Oh, shiny thing. But also overthinking. Too much thinking. So much thinking that when these new ideas come, this 8 of Wands energy comes in and actual opportunities start coming in, you can't get it. Because you're too scattered. You're too scattered with people, places, and things that are wasting your time. Okay? 7 of Wands, right? Fighting off all these things, fighting off all these imaginary foes, fighting off all these imaginary fears. Okay? 2 of Swords. Which way do I go? The opportunity is there. This woman could cut herself loose at any time. Okay? Which way do I go? Do I go left? Do I go right? Do I go left or do I go right? Right? So indecision still. Right? Next card out of the deck. Knight of Pentacles, upside down. Again, we know that knights are the end of a long-term situation, right? Our resources are upside down. Our resources are blocked. Our money is blocked. Again, why? Why? Because we're upside down in the places that we need to be upright. We're upside down in the places that we need to be upright. We're not joining the gym. We're not changing our eating habits. We're not cutting out sugar. We're not taking our vitamins. We're not cutting off those X's that we know are not good for us. Right? We are entertaining things that we don't need to be entertaining anymore. Okay? We are in the ascension. Okay? We are in the ascension. Why is this Queen of Swords upside down? We just went through all of 2018. Okay? We went through all of 2018. We already know the areas that we need to impact change. We already know. Okay? Ain't none of us young. Okay? And those of us that are young are old in spirit. Okay? Because you wouldn't be watching this video if you didn't already know what you need to be doing. Okay? All right. Judgment card, and I think this is going to be the last card of the deck. Judgment card, where are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10th card out of the deck. 10 in numerology. 10 reduces down to 1. Right? So we want to be wrapping things up. We're going to be wrapping things up. Okay? We want to be wrapping things up so that we can go for the new cycle. And I'm saying 10 in numerology, meaning there are 10 cards that came out of the deck. Okay? Not for the judgment card. Okay? Because this isn't the 10th card. I'm just saying for just a little numerology in there. Okay? We need to be wrapping things up. You said you feel personally attacked. Sorry, it's not me, but I mean, judgment is I mean, it ain't me. I'm just saying, it ain't me. So anyway, this is where we want to be, when we feel that when the judgment is coming down. Okay? We want to be like, yes, judgment, right? It's like for those of us that are Capricorns or that have Capricorn in our chart, it's like when Saturn came back home, it's like you had better have cleaned your house when Saturn came home, because Saturn came back home to Capricorn. And it was like, yay, right? I was happy when Saturn came home because I've been doing my work, right? But if you haven't been doing your work, it's not going to be cute when Saturn comes home. So we want to be like, yes, right? Like, yes, judgment is here and I'm not shook. Judgment is here and I'm not shook because I've been doing my work. Judgment is here and I'm like, yes. Okay? We need to make a choice. We need to make a choice. 10th card out of the deck. Out of this read, right? So we're going from this upside down Knight of Pentacles to this Judgment card. So if judgment really did come, would you be found wanting or would you be found ready? Right? And the moral of the story is we don't have to go through any of this. The moral of the story is we don't have to go through any of this. So I was like, why are you saying it's the way of the world? Hey, Wendy Mahoney, why is the theme song for tonight the way of the world? Why? But we know that the way of the world is to what? Be the upside down Queen of Swords, to not be in control of our thoughts, to let our thoughts run away from us, to let the news dictate our reality, to let our jobs dictate our reality, to let our kids dictate our reality, to let people who aren't even as smart as we are tell us who we are and we believe it. Okay? That's the way of the world. And that's how you end up in a situation like this. Fighting off all these invisible foes. Okay? That's how you end up like that. And then you end up here. Which way do I go? Which way do I go? That is the way of the world. Okay? And that is how power is maintained. Okay, that is how capitalism is maintained. That is how patriarchy is maintained. That is how sexism is maintained. All these things that we say we don't want, all these things that we say we don't like, but we're feeding it. But we're feeding it because we refuse to make the changes that we need to make. Okay, so we contribute to this collective consciousness, okay, by not making the decisions we need to make, by not judging things the way we need to judge them, by having upside down Knight of Pentacles, okay, by preventing our own money flow, okay. Hangman sitting right above this, okay. So sit down, meditate, get quiet, and figure out how to get your money right. Okay, nobody watching this video should be like still in a quandary about these things. Okay, people do not. Okay, you have everything that it takes. You have everything that it takes to master your universe. You have everything that it takes to master your destiny. You have everything it takes. First card out of the deck, remember, celebration. You have everything that it takes, but what will it require? It will require you to be the Empress sitting on top of the Two of Swords. Why? The choice is yours. What one person can do, another person can do. We all share the same 24 hours. We all share the same 24 hours. We all share the same collective consciousness. Turn off the TV, put the liquor down, put the weed down, and meditate. Meditate. Okay? This does not have to be your destiny. Again, we're in new moon season. We're in Aquarius. Aquarius wants us to expand. Aquarius wants us to be great. Aquarius is the humanitarian. Okay? We know we can't take people where we have not been. Okay? So we have to be expansive. We have to be the example so we can show people how to do this. We're here to show people how to do this, right? That's why we're here. And again, we have the universal support. Second card out the deck, Knight of Swords. We have the support. The energy is coming. The energy is coming so fast. Things are happening so fast. Okay? And I know I do this on Facebook Live. I know that I'm on social media too, but even I have to turn this off. We have to unplug. We have to unplug. We have to unplug. Okay, we have to unplug from anything that keeps us stuck. We have the opportunity, we have the brilliance, we have our ancestors, we have everything that we need to be great. Okay. Quick remedy, or not remedy, quick activity for the new moon. We already talked about going into nature. I don't want to run that in the ground, but another quick activity for the new moon. It's simple. It's so easy, right? Write down what you want to change. Okay. Sit, get quiet. Think about where do you need to make a turn? Where do you need to pivot, right? Just pick one area. Don't get overwhelmed. Just pick one area. And I would also say, don't even pick the most challenging thing in your life because it's too hot. You're too close to the pain. You're too close to the trauma. Okay? So pick something easy to change. Right? And when I say it's too hot, what I mean is sometimes affirmations and things like that don't work in certain areas of our life where there's too much has happened, too much pain, too much trauma, etc. Right? And so it's very hard to do those affirmations because there's a part in the brain that's like, that shit ain't true. That shit ain't never gonna happen. I ain't never gonna get that. Because I ain't had it, I ain't seen it, my mama ain't have it, my daddy ain't have it, I can't have it. Right? So it's too much, it's too hot, right? So sometimes we have to leave that alone and go to something more mundane, okay? something that you're not super invested in, because also sometimes we have to test this manifestation process, right? We have to test it to see if it works. We need to still see it, right? We need to see it. So pick something easy to work on during this full moon. Nothing that's going to stress you out, because you don't want to be stressed out during the new moon, right? There's already enough stuff happening. You don't want to be stressed out in Aquarius season. You want to be expansive in Aquarius season, okay? So pick something super easy to work on that you can flow with joy, and then bring your joy to it. How can I change this thing joyfully? Okay. So think about that, write that down, and see if you can do something every day during the next couple of weeks until we're in that full moon. Because let me tell you something, things are about to pick up. Things are about to pick up and get crunk. Knight of Swords. Things are about to get popping. And I already said it earlier. You want to be ready. Ebony, I see you on here. I already was like doing that little part from your show, right? About being ready. You want to be ready. You want to be able to receive all of your abundance with the grace of the Empress. Like, yes, of course. Of course it's here. I did the work, right? And I did it joyfully with people that I actually like, right? So, yeah. So what can you work on? How can you bring that joy in? Because again, 8 of Swords, it's coming anyway. It's coming anyway. So you want to be ready for it. You don't want to meet it like this, okay? You don't want to be stuck. You don't want to be stuck. You don't want to be really here. Even though this isn't like I don't think any of the cards in the tarot are bad, but some people get tripped up about this, but you don't want to be here, okay? And you certainly don't want to be here with the Knight of Pentacles. You don't want your resources, you don't want your money turned upside down, right? And again, for those of you that joined late, this Knight of Pentacles is sitting right underneath this Hangman, right? So what does that tell me? When I see upside down cards in the deck, those of y'all that have been doing readings for me for a while, we know, for me, I just look at these as blockages. I don't look at them as like crazy things or whatever. I just look at these as blockages. So what that tells me is that there needs to be a timeout. You need to take a time out again so you can think, so that you can prepare, right? So you can get that money right, okay? And it's so interesting because if this was upright, it would be going right into Judgment, because the Judgment was the last card out of the deck. Look at that. Look at that Knight of Pentacles, directly related to your ability to judge situations properly, directly related to your ability to just like take a right when you're supposed to take a right and not take that left. Look at that Knight of Pentacles going right into that Judgment, like just charging right into that Judgment. But yet it's upside down. So because it's upside down, what is that upside down Knight of Pentacles? What is it looking at? It ain't looking at Judgment. It's looking at this. Let me make sure I got it right. It's looking at this. Look at that. That is not a knight with its eye on the prize. That is a knight that's looking at a bunch of indecision and confusion. Right? Look at that. That's not where we want to be. Okay? We don't want to be here. Again, this isn't a bad card, but we don't want to be here. No. We don't want blocks. We don't want blocks in the area of our finances and our resources. Time out for that. It's 2019. Let's get it together. All right. So we know where we're at. I'm not pulling another card because, like I said, we are at 10. So as you know, we started with the Rider-Waite, the traditional tarot deck, European influenced deck, okay? Now we are taking it over to Africa, so Africa can tell us what to do. So we have the personality of the read from this Rider-Waite, right? The overall message, the overall picture of what's happening. And then, let's see. Lord have mercy. Change your attitude. No, you didn't. Se, sa, wo, su, ban. So for those of you all that are new to this reading, this is from the Breziando and Dinkra symbol deck, right? This is an African-centered deck. And what does this say? Change your attitude. What were we talking about? Signifying personal reflection. What do we say? What do we say? Signifying personal reflection and what? Transformation. 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 It is a composition of two Andinka symbols, the inner star. So again, we know that the star in the tarot deck is the sign for Aquarius, okay? The inner star, which represents a new day. What did we say? How many cards do we have here about a new day? It's a new day. It's a new day. Can you feel a brand new day? It's a new day. It's a new day. First card out the deck. Second card out the deck. It's a new day. Why don't you see that it's a new day? Why don't you see it's a new day? Why don't you see it's a new day? It's a new day. It's a new day. Why don't you see that it's a new day? Why don't you see that it's a new day? Why don't you see that it's a new day? Why don't you see that it's a new day? Could it be because you're paying too much attention to the news? Could it be that you're having too many negative conversations that are moving you forward and not backwards? Could it be that you are so attached to your habits? Could it be that you're so used to the old day that you can't see the new day when it arrives? Or could it be that you actually don't want to step up to the new day? Because we know that the new day will require a new you. We know that the new day will require new activities, new way of being, new way of beliefs. So could it be that you're holding yourself back and you're staying in these old beliefs and you're rejecting being the Queen of Swords, you're rejecting having new ideas because you just kind of like, you don't want to have to stretch too much. You don't want to be the new you. You don't want to show up and be great. Because sometimes it's easy not to be great, right? Represents a new day, and the outer wheel implies moving forward. It is time to move forward. Because here's the bottom line. The energy is changing, so you better get with it or get left behind, which is what I always say. The energy is not going to wait for you. And as my uncle used to say, time is not your ally. So the energy is going to move. So here's the deal. You're either going to move forward with this energy. You're either going to get on this love train. You're either going to get on this party train, or you're going to be like the theme song, The Way of the World, and you're going to just be like everybody else. And then you're going to be mad because everybody else is here living their best life, not afraid of judgment, not taking things personal. Okay? And you're going to be mad because you chose to do this. Because, oh, it's easier. Because, oh, it's always been that way. Because, oh, nobody likes me anyway. Nobody likes me anyway. I'm never going to have money. I'm never going to have anything because I've never had money. So, the choice is yours, like the song says. The choice is yours. You can get with this, or you can get with that. This or that. This or that. This or that. That's all I got. Fantastic. I will read this one more time. Change your attitude, in case I wasn't clear. Change your attitude. Signifying personal reflection, and transformation. It is a composition of two Andinka symbols. The inner star, which represents a new day. and the outer wheel, which implies moving forward. Okay? So you're going to either be with the world or you're going to be great. I suggest you be great because the world needs you to be great. The world needs us to be great. Okay? The world needs us to show them how to be like this. The world needs an alternative. Okay? The world needs to see us taking these new ideas and being just beautiful and just graceful and just like abundant and amazing. Okay? So I invite you to join me on the journey to greatness, on the journey to fun, on the journey to excitement. I would love to see you there. If you're not, you will be missed, but we will still be here having fun. What'd you say? Me in my footy pajamas? Listen, sis, I just got to Connecticut like an hour and a half ago. I've been on the road from New York City since 4:15. You see the bags under my eyes. I am so sleepy, but I was like, you know what? Let me do this reading because they don't like to let me sleep when I'm sleepy. And then look, I got my hair all knotted up. I got my hair done today. I got my hair all knotted up. Like I fully intended to go to bed. And Spirit was like, nope. So that's it. Change your attitude. Step to that pleasure. I like that hip hop tarot. I need to change my channel to hip hop tarot. Anyway, that was fun. For those of you that came in late, where are we at? What's our time? Oh, 46 minutes. Okay, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. All right. So, of course, you all can Facebook inbox me for personal readings. That would be super fun. You can also check out past videos on my YouTube page called The Magic Hour. Thank you, Betty Sutton, for hanging out. And the next reading will be on the full moon. So I'll go ahead and do, I don't know what that date is right now, but I'll put it in the, I'll create an event for it when I get off of this Facebook Live. Thank you so much. This was great. And remember, we have so much help. We have so much positive energy that we can tap into, tapping into the Chinese New Year energy. Some would say, some metaphysicians say that New Year's really starts in March. And so that's why I just feel like when March comes, it's going to be on and popping. I wasn't really feeling that until I started this reading. But yeah, March is going to be really, really great. So let's just keep our eyes on the prize. Okay, let's keep our eyes on the prize. Again, for those of you that are interested in the Shri mantra, Shri is spelled S-R-I and then Y-A-N-T-R-A, and it is a phenomenal abundance manifesting tool. You focus on the little center dot there for 7 minutes a day. And there's lots of information on the Shri Yantra. So, yes, thank you. And I'll see y'all in a couple weeks. Good night.